1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Stay on the scene, get on up like a sex machine. Get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Stay on the scene, get on up like a sex machine. Get on up.
It's changing.
It always changes.
Stay on the scene, get on up.
Yes, it is.
Sex machine. Wait a minute. Shake your
See
arm.
there?
Vai.
Hello tonight, and welcome to Rome, to the Roma Fringe Festival. And you just finished your performance tonight, and it was really nice. Anyway, I would like to ask you something about your company. Can you tell us the story of your company, something like
Sure,
that?
yeah. I run a theater company called Built for Collapse. We're stationed in New York City. And we came together about 5 years ago. We wanted to make work that had a political context, but was not overtly trying to tell you anything about how to think or feel. We wanted to present it in a way, we were trying to make plays without writing them, so making them with the actors in the room. And I guess they call it like devised theater now, is the term they use in New York.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
But the two people that I started the company with, one of them is a dancer, and one of them is often a film actor. And so we were really interested in doing things that were both dance and had a multimedia aspect to it, and a circus or spectacle aspect to it, and trying to take all these different forms and music and put them all into one show, and so that there's something for everybody, no matter what you connect to the most. So we've been doing that since 2008, and we did this show in Prague and Berlin and Krakow and New York City. So.
But in the Fringe context, so
Not
just
always in the Fringe context. We did the Prague Fringe Festival last year. But then in Krakow, we had friends who had a theater space, sort of that kind of thing. It's like wherever we could find a place to do it.
Okay. And well, did you arrive in Rome like a Fringe? No, because you was the winner of the last.
Yeah. So we did the show in Prague, and we won the Inspiration Award for Best New Work.
Okay.
And then Davide got in touch with us through the head of the Fringe Festival in Prague and said, "You guys come," and and I got an email, and I wrote everybody, and I was like, "We have to go to Rome."
My God.
And I was like, "Can everyone go to Rome?" And they were like, we can go to Rome." So we're like, "We're going."
That's great. And did you find any difference between the New York Fringe Festival and the Roma Fringe Festival?
Oh yeah, they're totally different, and I think it's amazing. It's completely based on the culture of Italy versus the culture of New York City.
Yeah, sure.
In New York City, it's like fast and you're crammed into these tiny little spaces.
Oh, great.
And
My
there's
God.
like 500 shows, there's actually 200 shows, and
200 shows.
Yeah. So that's the New York City Fringe Festival, and then the Prague Fringe Festival is more like, I think, 30 shows in 5 venues, but they're all across the city. And this was amazing because it was, in terms of what I know, like outdoors, which is amazing and such a different feeling for a theater piece. But also it's all in one central space, which makes it feel like such a community sort of experience. And the booths are amazing.
And what about the audience?
The audience is so generous, and
And also because you're from in English, it's
Yeah,
not easy
yeah.
for Italian people.
Exactly.
Yeah?
I was really surprised. I watched the audience the whole time while I was running the show, and even when they didn't understand what was happening, which I'm sure is often because it was in English, and I know when I see things, I just saw a show in Bulgarian like a week ago, and I had no idea what was going on, but thankfully they were still invested invested in and very very generous to the performers, and I think that's really important, and not something that you always get in New York, where everyone's a critic.
Okay, well, also in the room sometimes it's like that. Anyway, because you are from America, I'll say. And projects about the future.
We're doing a show right now that goes out in July in New York City.
Again?
And it's based off of my uncle, who was the foreign affairs minister during the hostage crisis in Iran. So we're sort of...
Because you're from Iran.
My family is from Iran, and I lived there for a little while, and we were just in Istanbul during the protests, and so we're sort of looking at the Middle East now.
Maybe it's the best.
Maybe. And so that's the next show that's coming up.
Wow.
Yeah.
The last question, because I'm curious, this is just for me. Because I have been in America, and sometimes it's not really easy to perform about political things, you know?
Yeah.
What is the impact with audience in New York?
In New York City, they've been very receptive, but their biggest criticism is mainly that they, the material that we're talking about in the show is from the 40s through the 70s in America. And so the biggest criticism is, well, why aren't you talking about now? And part of that is because it's hard to talk about right now in any context where you really have you're removed enough from it to have a real idea about what happened. But I think that, I think that we've been lucky that the theaters that we've performed in and the people who have seen it have been interested in that kind of work. But it's very much, in New York, there's like the Broadway thing, and then there's like the downtown theaters, and those are the ones that really understand what we're doing. No one on Broadway cares.
And the really last question. I'm curious about what is the condition of the actor or director or dancer in New York right now with this kind of economical crisis and stuff like that?
It's very hard. It's for an actor to just be an actor, or for a director to just be a director. What keeps us going is the fact that there's so many of us who have the same problem. But yeah, I think it's hard, but we're resilient people. And if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So you just sit there for 20 years and figure out if it's gonna happen, and then if it doesn't, you move.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you maybe.
We'll be back. Yeah, exactly. Lovely.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Stay on the scene, get on up like a sex machine.